All right, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to learn about reading structure of price structure, as well as execution the trade, right? You've got to learn how to take the trade. And right here today, we're going to discuss how you find these levels and always looking at structure as far as the previous level. And basically just looking at where is price action stopping and where is it rising at, right? Where is it coming down to the rise at and where it's coming up to fall at? And that's basically how you draw these zones and find market structure. Okay, the first thing we're going to do right now is get a trend line and draw this downtrend. Look at this very carefully, right? We see every single time price action comes to the trend line, that level of resistance is always falling right down, right? Every single time it comes here is touching that trend line, triggering a downtrend, right? So we can see clear as day that this is a clear downtrend. Every single time price action comes to that level, it's always falling down. Now, what do we say about the previous levels? The previous levels of support and resistance are always going to be there. You can find them on multiple time frames all across every single one of them, right? But the main time frame that we focus on is the 4 hour, between the 1 hour, and sometimes to the 15 minute to find our entries. Now it's very, very simple. You can find these trades across any one of them time frames. It just depends on how fast you want to see profit. If you want to be on the hour and 15 minute, that's pretty quick time frame. You're going to see things happen a little bit more faster. But don't get me wrong, you can be on the higher time frame and still trade them the same exact way. It just takes a little bit longer to go your way. So seeing this right here, we see clear as day price action is in that downtrend, right? That impulsive move and then the correction, right? The impulsive move and then the correction, correct? You see the impulsive move here and then the correction. We have an impulsive move here and then the correction. And here another big impulsive move to the downside. So we see clear as day that that downtrend is very much valid. Now, the next thing we're going to do is look at the levels of support and resistance as far as market structure. That's what it means, right? When you're drawing levels of support and resistance, you're marking up market structure and seeing what price action is doing, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is come right down here. I'm going to go over here and get a rectangle, okay? Now I'm going to draw this rectangle just like this. I'm going to start way back here and draw way over there. Why? Because we see in the past when price actually came down to this level, right? When it came down to this level, it stopped right about here and then it pushed right back up to the same exact level of resistance. And then it fell down here and now it's trying to retest that same exact previous zone. This is how we always know market structure. It always works the same exact way. Every single time price action is coming to the same exact levels, you're always looking for the levels to be broken, right? Or to be retested the same way it did right here. And it fell to the downside, correct? Now, this right here is the main important part. Don't forget about this zone, about that structure of price, right? We drew this level because it came down here in the past, rose up, came below here, and then is retesting the same level where it's trying to fall even further to the downside. Now let's go back very quickly. We'll just move on out the way. Now, watch the next thing, right? Price action is always going to do one or the other. It's going to fall below a level or break above a level, right? It's going to do one or the other. It can't do nothing else. Like nothing else can happen, right? It's going to fall below a level or it's going to break below or break above a level, correct? Now let's see what's going to happen next. Price is falling down, it's falling down. Now, right here, notice how price action is breaking right back above that previous structure, that previous level of support and resistance, right? We see this right here as an indication, as a clear breakout above that level. Now, give me 1 second. You can mark this right here as a clear breakout above that level. When a bar closes, when price action closes above or below a level, that's the breakout. Also followed by this huge bullish momentum in the market. Look at this huge bullish candlestick pattern which caused price to shoot right back above that previous level. And then this candlestick right here is what we can call the breakout, right? This stuff is very, very important. When you're marking up these levels, you're basically looking at market structure, and that's how we identify these certain levels of support and resistance. We already said that because this was our previous level right here where that morning star formed and it pulled right back up, correct? Now over here, it fell below this level. Don't forget, right? This bar here was that same momentum bar as this green bar was for this, right? So you see that huge red bar momentum as far as the sellers, and then the breakout bar right here, and then we have the retest where it tried to fall all the way down but didn't quite make it. But this is exactly what you're looking for, okay? And you see here, we have the green bullish bar, that's the momentum, and then we have the breakout bar right about here, okay? And now what the thing we look for every single time there is a breakout of structure as far as the lower level or above a level, we look for the pullback next, right? And because it's breaking above a level of resistance, right? Breaking above a level of resistance, correct? Because in the past, right? In the past, it was support right here, it was resistance right here. So when it broke above this level, it was breaking above a level of resistance, right? So now that it broke above this level, it's going to pull back to it, right? Break above it, pull back to it, which is going to cause it to be a level of new support the same way it was right about here. The same exact thing. Now look at this next, right? 1 second. We'll move some of the blues lines out the way. This is very, very important. It's so easy when you're looking for a trade. So we have the breakout, right? And we see price action breaking above that level, correct? The next thing we're going to do here is see how far price could go. Okay, so how do we determine how far up could a price actually rise? That's very, very simple. We're looking at the previous level of market structure. It's that simple, the previous levels of market structure. So what we do next is we're going back here to get a rectangle and we're going to draw it right about here, just like that, all the way across to match up with the other one we have down here if you want to be perfect, right? But, right, like what I do personally, I pull this all the way across, I pull this all the way across because that level is going to be valid for quite some time, right? So now that we saw a price action break above this level, we said naturally we always look for the pullback to the exact same level, right? The pullback and then get in for that buy to make profit at that next level of market structure, or in this case, that level of resistance, right? It's very, very simple when you're doing it just like this. You're not overthinking it. It is not that hard. Now, right here is a 3 hour. Now we'll go down to the 1 hour and see what do we see. We see price action broke above here. This level, this right here was that breakout, right? This was the breakout that we saw on the 3 hour on the higher time frame. Look at that. This was a breakout that we saw. Now we're naturally looking for the pullback and then we're getting in for the buy, right? Looking for price action to push right back to the same exact previous level, right? The same exact level. Now, right? We're gonna remove these out the way. Remove that, remove this out the way. Very, very simple. You're doing like this. You're not overthinking it. It's not that complicated, and you don't gotta be that hard, right? So everything is still the same. We still have our same previous levels here, right? The same previous level here that we marked up on our 3 hour time frame, okay? But now we're looking for that entry for that morning, right? We're looking for the pullback, and then we're looking to get in for the buy because price action has broke right back above that same exact market structure, that same exact level of resistance, right? So now we're looking for the pullback and look at it, right? We're seeing what it pulled back, we're seeing what it pulled back, and bam, right? It pulls back to the same level, okay? So this right here was the breakout. That means this right here is the pullback to the exact same level, right? That's the pullback, right? Now watch it. It comes up a little bit right there. Now, bam, right? We have our pullback. Now we're looking for that entry. We're setting our stop loss to the previous level right about there, or it can be a little bit above there, however you please, right? But it's close to the previous level, right? And then we're having this one, our TP, all the way up here because we know this right here is our next level, correct? We know this right here was that next level of market structure, that next level of support and resistance, even way back here, right? We know that's our next level, and that's how we determine our TP. Now, give me 1 second. We have our entry, right? We have an entry right there. We have our stop loss right about here. And we have our take profit at that previous level, right? Very, very simple, correct? That previous level, everything is always going to be the same. So that's our take profit. So we're entering a trade right here. And as you can see, is not that far in the afternoon, right? Every single time you're looking to get these trades, you gotta always realize it's going to most likely be in the morning, not in the afternoon. So this right here was around 4 a.m. in the morning, right? This right here is the breakout on September the 3rd. This right here is the retest on September the 4th, right? These are the things you have to wait for. Yeah, you could enter right here, but this right here would have been the best entry, right? The thing you should have been waiting for. This right here fits perfectly within our time, right? 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. We're looking for that buy, right? You always get up at the same time and trade at the same time every single day. And guys ask me all the time, how do I know I'm not getting into late or getting into early? And that's why if I trade every day, right? Like my schedule is 3 a.m. in the morning all the way to the afternoon, about 12 and 1 in the afternoon. That's how I know I'm not getting into late. If I get into a trade right here, like always, right? I always find my entry at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. If I'm always doing the same thing, I'm not late, right? I'm always getting to my trade around this same time. How can I be late, right? If I'm always getting to a trade around 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and you're doing the same thing all the time, making money, you're not late. If one time you do lose that trade, that's okay. That don't mean you was late. You just lost the trade. So this right here fits perfectly within our time, right? You're not trading in the afternoon. You should not be trading in the afternoon, okay? So bam, right there we have our entry, and let's see what happens, right? So it pushes up, and bam, right? This is exactly how it plays out. It comes right back down here, but never comes to our stop loss. So we're just being patient, right? We're just being patient, we're in profit. And look at that TP, it gets hit, right? Now, this is very, very significant, okay? Right here, we get our take profit. We got it for the buy there. We see everything, what happened and why we did it, right? We see exactly why we got into this trade. Now, think about it, right? Now that we're right at the same exact level, let's see how much we made in pips, right? From here all the way up here was about 53 pips in profit, while we only risk about 18 or so pips, right? So risking about 17 or 18 pips to gain over 55. That's a great trade. And you see why we took this trade, right? The perfect analysis. Now think about it. Now that we're at the same exact previous level here, right? Remember, price action came here, it came here, it came here. Now that we're right about at the same exact level, it could have fell all the way back down, correct? But let's see what happens. Price action is trying to break above this level. Don't forget what we said in the past, right? That momentum, correct? Momentum at that level. So going back to the 3 hour time frame, this is how we read it. The same way we did before. Remember before on the 3 hour or the 4 hour, don't matter, right? The 4 hour, 3 hour is pretty much the same exact thing. The 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are the time frames you're trying to find price action, and those are the time frames you're looking for these candlesticks and reading all the different things, right? We said over here in the past, here was the breakout that we saw on the 3 hour and 2 hour and this and that. And we found our entry on the pullback right here on the 1 hour and made that buy all the way to the top side. Now we're going to do the same thing, right? Now that price action at the same exact market structure or the same exact level as the past resistance here, we're trying to see what's going to happen. Is it going to break above this level? And as you can see here, let me move this out the way. And as you can see here, that huge green candlestick is the momentum, right? We see on a 3 hour is trying to break above that level. Now watch it. You see how it broke above that level, and naturally, right, we look for the pullback to the level and see where to go further up. Now, don't forget, right, here was the momentum. Let's say this bar right here was the breakout bar, okay? This was the breakout bar, okay? So we'll come here, we'll mark it up right here. I'll just clone this as breakout and put it right about there. And naturally, what do we look for like always? The pullback here and then take it to the top side. It's that simple. And how can we see how far price might go up? The same way we did here, right? Watch it. We're looking at the previous level, the same way we did right here. Now here, I'm going to draw another zone. I'm going to clone this and draw another zone just like that, because we're saying that if we go for the buy right here, that's how far price action could continue to push up right back to the same exact previous level. And it's that simple, guys, right? All the time. Here was our first buy we did, and now we're trying to do the same thing. The first time it broke above the previous level, retested, we got it for the buy. Now the same scenario is trying to play out again, right? Let's go down to the 1 hour and let's see, can we have this pullback? If there's no pullback you don't see, you simply just don't enter. Remember, this right here was the breakout, okay? Now let's see what happens. Price action comes down, right? Look at that, right? It naturally comes down when you look for that entry at the same exact level. And it's that simple, right? You're looking at the pullback, right? So this right here would have been the pullback, the entry, right? This right here would have been the pullback, the entry, the same way right here was the pullback and the entry, okay? So right here, entry, we'll come this right here. That's our entry. We'll just clone the rest of these words, clone that. That's our stop loss, and we'll just clone this right here. That's our take profit, the same exact way before, right? Nothing is ever different. Look at that, right? Bam, take profit. Look at that. The same exact trade, the same exact way every single time, right? Where stop loss, our entry, our take profit, our stop loss, our entry, our take profit. But you see here how very simple it was to find market structure by just looking at the previous level and very easily looking at the pullback and then get it in for the buy. So now you know how to identify that breakout and then identify that pullback to the exact same level. I hope this right here really helps you out, and I will see you next time, guys.